What's up, squad? Brandon from the Bantu Sun. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, keeping up with the latest coming out of Ukraine, there's a cat and mouse chicken game going on in Ukraine between the US and Europe. Basically, somebody has to pay the bills in Ukraine, and within the U.S., they just released another $250 million, but it is expected that funds for Ukraine will dry up this month if something doesn't change, because the Republicans have begrudgingly gone along with this thus far, but they are really starting to put their feet down and say they do not want to give more money to Zelensky, President Zelensky of Ukraine. Across the pond in Europe, you have a similar situation where Europe has a multi-billion dollars, $55 billion multi-year deal that they can put together for Ukraine, but they don't have all the votes. And one of the primary people stopping this from occurring is the head of Hungary, Viktor Orban. So Europe is trying to work their way around Hungary's vote, but while they're jockeying America with the Democrats, Republicans, Europe with Hungary, while they're jockeying for position, trying to get their financial aid packages in, Ukraine is on the brink of pretty much bankruptcy. If these bills aren't paid, if they don't receive funds they need, it will start to affect their civil servants. So, in any state, the most energetic citizens are going to be your civil servants. Reason why is because they are the ones most reliant on the government. And you do not want to miss payments to your civil servants, because that is pretty much the preamble for anarchy. So Ukraine is desperately awaiting new funds. And conversely, on the other side of the battlefield, Russia has been stepping up their attacks, and Ukraine has said Russia's latest attacks have been one of their largest attacks since the war started. That is saying a lot, considering we can trace this conflict as far back as 2014. So the Russians have stepped up their aerial bombardments, hitting places beyond the immediate regions of Luhansk and Donetsk. They're going to Kharkiv, and of course, Kyiv, the capital city. So there was an interview or a conversation of a video that I once saw, and it was Vladimir Putin talking to his compatriots about his belief in Russia's ability to win the war. And of course, he's going to be the biggest cheerleader for his side. But interestingly enough, in that conversation, reason for President Putin's optimism in Russia was that Russia was a nation, and he felt as though Ukraine was a puppet state. And as such, Ukraine didn't have industry or the sustenance that it required for a sustained war effort. And because they lacked the industry and the sustenance that it required, and it had to import that through Western money and Western material and Western personnel, time was on Russia's side. And like many other wars, Russia has had a favorable outcome. It was a grinding, long, enduring battle which the Russians think they can outlast the Ukrainians. So this is interesting because what is proven the case right now, Ukraine is looking for money, feeling as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, as they say. And Russia is actually escalating its attacks. It's becoming more intense. Now, some could argue those escalations may be some will argue those escalations could be a last-ditch effort. Others will argue this is just the next phase of the battle, and that Russia has a lot more in the tank. So, love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Until next time, take care. Bantu up.